And welcome back, everybody. We are finally returning with our long-awaited Sparkling Tuna Cup number 17. I'm, of course, your host, Light VIP, and with me, for the first time, casting the Sparkling Tuna Cup, I have the one, the only, the casting cat himself. Welcome, AsherBro.
Hello.
Oh my god, are you becoming a full-time caster now? What's happening? What's
Yeah, I'm retiring as a player. The career's over before it even started.
No. Oh god, but before we get too ahead of ourselves, we do have our first series, and a pretty exciting one at that. Yeah, we're going to be featuring a player who is debuting in Sparkling Tuna Cup.
Oh yeah, I was really excited for this one. I was kind of hoping that we would be casting him.
Of course, we are not speaking of this player, but spawning in the top right-hand corner of Inside and Out ESL, we have the Vietnamese Zerg player himself representing the Juggernauts. Going for a pull first, it is MeomaikA.
And the debutant, starting in the bottom left-hand corner, the Blue Terran playing for Team Roddy. It is CuKu.
And now, as a Terran enjoyer that you are, that everyone knows you are, have you been following much of CuKu, as he is a more known name in the European scene?
Yeah, for sure. I wouldn't say I've watched like a ton of his games. I've watched a little bit of his stream before, so I have some kind of an idea of what kind of player he is. I know he's a very, like a lot of younger Terrans, is very fast, very like micro-based. One of those kind of, a little bit like Clem, so he'll play essentially a macro game just at turbo speed with pressure the whole time, trying to stay on top of the opponent and leverage his APM, so I would be expecting that kind of game out of him.
Yeah, it's really cool. Like there's honestly a lot of like up-and-coming European talents, you know, players like CuKu or players like Baby Marine as well comes to mind, like a lot of like young blood in the scene, which is really cool to see. What's even cooler is that they're even willing to play in like these almost off-brand tournaments, you know, like Sparkling Tuna Cup isn't the most ideal tournament for European players, but like they're still willing to participate anyway.
Yeah, for sure, and that's really cool. Cool to see especially an up-and-coming player that's being actively supported by Roddy as well. I know he puts a lot of investment into his players, which is really cool of him as well. It's really nice to see him playing in so many tournaments. I know he plays in almost all of the ASL Open Cups as well. So definitely a very active player and one to keep an eye on.
Oh, definitely. And already he does get a kill on one of these drones, so nicely done here with his Reaper. Because it was a pool first opening, CuKu did SCV scout and he did confirm the pool first, and he respected it quite a bit here by going for the high ground CC.
Yeah, so CuKu, obviously, the reputation of MeomaikA precedes him because he went for a 17 scout, I believe it was, so very, very early scout. Not something you'd normally see a Terran do unless they are playing against someone like this. And it has paid off. He has got the safety to be able to send the Reaper across the map, and he's done enough scouting to have at least some idea of what's going on. I'm not sure if he's actually seen the Roach Warren though. Mio's done a very good job of putting it in a bit of an unusual position, and has been keeping the Reaper away from it as well.
Exactly. So CuKu is playing a little bit in the dark. He's for now finally going to see these links here on the low ground. As you were saying, CuKu did not see the Roach Warren, but I love that he's getting a safety tank anyway. Kind of one of the most ideal things that you want against, you know, roaches.
Yeah, and to be honest, against Mio, I wouldn't be surprised if he has already watched the games that Clem had against Mio in the recent DreamHack, and this is basically the sort of thing that Clem was going for, like safety tanks, Viking to shoo away the Overlord, just playing super safe, and seems like maybe he's even had the chance to look at the replays already.
Yeah, I mean, the replays, they were released, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. I think about 24 hours ago.
Yeah, so they are now out, released to the public. But MeomaikA, despite being known or notifying or being aware of the tank, he pushes up the ramp anyway and he wants to bile it down.
Yeah, MeomaikA just charging straight in, gets the tank already with the biles and sends the Lings up the ramp. These Ravagers all alive, but one of them very low already, and the Natural's being evacuated.
Yeah, exactly. Boys are being pulled as well, but damage is being done. A couple of workers already being picked up. Ooh, nice target fire, nice piles there on some of those Marines. Eventually, these Ravagers are going to be focused down, but MeomaikA, mate, he's taking a worker lead behind this. Oh, good. It's actually not something Link flip.
Yeah, meanwhile, just pumping out the Lings behind it. The second Ravager goes down already, but there's so much damage being done, and more Lings are coming. And behind this is even researching Burrow, which... Very interesting.
Yeah, I wonder if Burrow is going to finish. If he maintains control of the natural, do you think he's going to be able to burrow a Ling underneath the CC?
Yeah, I mean, with only 2 orbitals, that's actually a lot to deal with. There is the third one finishing up now, but there is hardly any energy on that first orbital. Even burrowing single Lings is going to be really annoying to deal with and slow down the economy of CuKu even more.
Yeah, exactly. So MeomaikA, he may not have ended the game here, but he dealt a lot of economic damage. Again, he had very strong bios on the tank anyway. Despite the fact that CuKu was semi-prepared for what was coming, MeomaikA was able to deal that damage, and behind this, he's droning on up and going into a lair.
Yeah, and the real problem for CuKu here is he has lost all his Marines. He has no chance for any counter pressure at the moment. He can just defend, and he can't even take his natural just yet with no clue of what's happening down on the low ground, so it's very hard for him to get back into this game.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the one saving grace, I would say, is that he does have 3 CCs, so, you know, his economy can kind of be jump-started soon once he does take his bases. But as you were saying, it's kind of a risk to take, and I'm honestly a little bit surprised. Look at the upgrades. Oh, Mio canceled Burrow.
Yeah, interestingly, going into a Hydra Den now, which would be pretty weird if it was anyone else, but not exactly the strangest thing to see from Neo. Yeah, meanwhile, CuKu is getting a little bit of pressure out on the map with these Hellions, with this Viking. He will slowly start to get some idea of the game state, but it's not going to be good news when he does see it.
Yeah, so I feel like this is a bit of a problem, right? Because from here, the more standard thing to do is to go straight into I feel like a Spire and maybe even Mutaplay. But Hydras are a very MeomaikA thing to do, but I don't think he was able to show that off in DreamHack, so I don't know if the European players are aware of that.
Yeah, for sure. And honestly, one of the skills of MeomaikA is he always does what you least expect. It's one of the main things that keeps you on your toes about him. As soon as you think you're on top of how he's playing, he'll switch it up on you and hard counter your reaction to his reaction. But meanwhile, there's a pretty good scan coming out from CuKu. Does see the Evos, sees just the edge of the Hydra Den as well. So he should have some idea of what's going on here.
Oh yeah, that was a beautiful scan. Saw everything that he needed to see. At the same time, he goes for a Hellion drop here outside the main base. There is creep to spot this, and MeomaikA does already have Lings in position, so the drop itself isn't going to do too much damage, but again, the scouting is what's important. Now he knows, okay, I don't need to like throw down any kind of safety turrets. I don't have to worry about any kind of mutas. It is going to be just a ground-based push.
Yeah, and he does see the Hydras for the first time, so we do see him continuing to make Marine tank, and I'm sure he'll be wanting to stay on those tanks as he progresses, but at the same time, he's still a little way off of taking his third, so this is still an uphill battle for CuKu.
Yeah, definitely, because MeomaikA, mate, he's got all the map control, he's got all the freedom in the world to just expand, drone up, tech up as well if he wanted to. We'll see where he does end up going with this army. Ling Hydra is a very Meo thing to do. He's not really known for lurkers, but if he wanted to, I guess he could try and get into that, or Hive Tech as well. It feels like MeomaikA can kind of do whatever he wants for a little bit here.
Yeah, for sure, and I would like to see him continue to use his creep just to dominate the map and slowly start building up the kind of advantage that will take a long time for CuKu to push back. But at the same time, CuKu is slowly getting back into this. The drone count and SCV count are slowly closing in on each other, and the third is finally landed.
Yeah, there we go. It's now on location. Immediately we see a couple of mules being thrown down. The tanks are positioning themselves as well. This can be a kind of awkward angle of attack because there are, you know, there's the low ground and the high ground as well to break into the third base. And MeomaikA, surprisingly, maybe not surprisingly, he's not droning right now. He's just still making nothing but army. He wants to go for that push.
Yeah, absolutely. Maybe setting himself up before just in case there was any kind of all-in pressure coming back his way. But now that he is set up and comfortable on 70 drones, which is not a bad drone count at all for Meo, while I say that, the drones are under attack.
Yeah, a couple of drones are getting roasted here by another Hellion drop. It draws away a lot of the attention, but at the same time, in comes the Ling Hydra trying to dive on top of this third base location. Bunker will go down, and the Lynx are getting on top of the tanks.
Yeah, the Hydra's bringing out a nice spread, slowly working their way through these tanks. The boys are pulled for a moment, and G is called.
MeomaikA will take game number 1. And MeomaikA has such an interesting like style of play here because I don't know, like whenever I see Ling Hydra going up against a tank line with Marines, I never expect it to work, but he just makes it work. I don't know how.
Yeah, these timings are so offbeat. They're kind of hit exactly when you start to feel a little bit more comfortable, when you start to feel set up and you start to think about moving out. That's when suddenly this timing comes in that feels kind of like it's in between the two timings that you would be expecting, and it doesn't look right, and it kind of takes you a while to adjust to what you're seeing, but by the time that happens, all your army's dead.
Yeah. Yeah, it's one of those things where like I'm in awe as a Zerg player, and I'm like, that looks so cool. I never want to do that myself though, because I know I can't. I know it's like it's just a Meo thing to do.
You just know that you jump on the ladder, you'll try that, and they'll just not move, and your whole army will just evaporate. And you'll be like, oh, okay, that kind of makes sense.
Exactly. Oh god, but that was yeah, really well executed game number 1. Something that I should also bring to people's attention, by the way, is that game 1 was on US West, which is a little bit more favored towards like the Southeast Asian side of players, but game 2 is going to be on Central as we do alternate between the servers, so this will give CuKu a little bit of an easier time, or a better chance.
Yeah, Central definitely quite a bit better for the EU players than West is. So we'll have to see if that does make any difference. But at the same time, I think that last strategy that came in just caught CuKu a little bit off guard with the just how aggressive it was. He was prepared, but his tank was maybe a little bit forward as well, a little bit of an unsafe location. So we'll have to see how he adjusts in this game.
Oh yeah, we'll see if he can adjust on the fly to this player here, because spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Cosmic Sapphire ESL, we have the Vietnamese Zerg player, the Oceanic DreamHack representative, representing the Juggernauts. It is MeomaikA.
And spawning up in the top left-hand corner, he is representing Team Roddy. It is the Blue Terran. 0-1 down. It is CuKu. I believe he is he Romanian?
Yeah, Romanian.
There we go. Cool.
Yeah, we don't get that many players from Romania anymore, but it's really cool to see that they have a strong representative in CuKu.
Yeah, absolutely. Hopefully that'll encourage the young Terrans to rise up from Romania.
Like how you say Terran specifically. You're like, screw this.
Yeah. We don't need more Zergs. We don't need more world champions. We have enough.
Ay. Oh god. But I we'll see how CuKu adjusts, as you were saying, because it did feel like his opener was specifically designed, you know, around how MeomaikA plays. You were kind of praising him earlier, being like, yo, Clem kind of played like this as well. Like it all seemed right in the beginning for CuKu.
Yeah, for sure. He definitely knew what kind of player he was up against, and once again we do see him going for the full scout. I wonder if he knows that if he sees the Roach Warren, it will not be a Roach Warren.
He doesn't go all the way in, puppy.
You know what? I think that's actually for the best. I think it's better that he doesn't see it than he sees it and it gets cancelled.
True. Meo has done that in the past, so now because he doesn't know that there isn't a Roach Warren, he's going to prepare for a Roach Warren because it could be there. Maybe.
True. And so far we do see him starting off with a reactor first, which I really like. This will just give him a little bit of extra safety with an earlier marine count. And he's starting up the bunker on the low ground already, straight into a factory. So this is a good setup for him so far.
Yeah, exactly. One SCV will get taken out, so the bunker's going to be a little bit delayed, but we only have 2 Lings here. They're not going to do too much. Eventually, the bunker will get up and running. Roaches are coming out here for MeomaikA. Again, this has gone unscouted, so CuKu is still a little bit in the dark here, and we'll see if he can hold on. I mean, the natural should be fine. It shouldn't be cancelled. But yeah, we'll see how much damage gets done.
Yeah, and we do see a few extra links coming out here from MeomaikA, so a little bit more of a commitment. It's not just your standard Lambo free MMR Friday 5 roach. But at the same time, this bunker is full of Marines already. So I would like to see CuKu bring a couple SCVs down to the low ground as well, just to help repair. But so far, he is in a good spot to hold this, and he does do that.
Exactly. Here we go. We do have a couple of SCVs there, and they will be able to help out. Meanwhile, these roaches are ready to go. We do have a little bit of extra gas, so if we wanted some Ravagers, we could morph them in, but it looks like MeomaikA isn't too concerned with that. Not yet. Just all about those links.
Yeah, so just a fairly simple pressure coming out from MeomaikA here. Try to see what damage he can get done. The repair is good so far, though.
Yeah, the repair is pretty good, but 2 SCVs do get taken out in the end. We are going to see a salvage on the bunker. Can he get it in time? Ooh. Barely.
Yeah, gets the salvage off, but he does have to abandon this low ground, and I am a little bit worried for him if Meo does choose to drone behind this, which he is doing so far.
Yeah, exactly. Now MeomaikA is going to be able to catch up in the economy. Meanwhile, a couple of mines are going to borrow, but they do not get any shots off.
Oh, beautiful Bioset just managed to pull out of the leash range. And that is a lot of build time that's been lost for CuKu now, and in come the Lings.
Oh no, I don't think CuKu was really anticipating all these Lings to rock up, and just like that, all these SCVs are going to go down. G gets called, and MeomaikA takes it 2-0.
That's not what I wanted to see, Puppy. We're just like, thank you for coming to our tournament. Get out of here.
CuKu's like, I'm never playing in this again.
Condolences to CuKu. That was definitely a very rough series, and there are, of course, other factors that could come into it, such as if you've never played versus Meo before, this is the kind of thing that does tend to happen.
GG, well played. Congratulations to MeomaikA for moving on here, again with very aggressive play, kind of what he's known for. CuKu, welcome to the Southeast Asian scene. I know it was a short stay. I hope this isn't the last we see of you, because we were both really excited to see you in the bracket. I don't know if he's gonna watch the VOD or something, but we were both very excited to see CuKu in the bracket, and again, I hope this isn't the last of CuKu.
Yeah, absolutely. I would love to see CuKu back for another shot, especially now that he has had that experience with Meo. Sorry, I'm sure he'll be chomping at the bit to have another crack at it. This is the kind of, loss that kind of eats away at you a little bit as you start to think through the strategies. You start to work out, oh, I would have done this, I would have done that, and yeah, it'd be really nice to see him have another crack at it.
Definitely. This series reminds me of I know this was a little bit before your time, but in 2020, I want to say, maybe it was 2019, 2020. We had we used to run GPO, Grand Platypus Open. It was our weekly tournament for the Oceanic region. And there was 1 week where Probe signed up. Probe is pretty typically inactive when it comes to online tournaments, but he signed up 1 week, and we're like, oh my god, he's here, let's go. We casted him. He went up against Beastlork first round, and I think Beastlork proxied him 1 game, and then Cannon rushed him another game, and 2-0 Probe out of the tournament, and that was the last we saw of Probe. That was.
Why does this keep happening, Poppy? You need to tell them to be nice to the new players. I believe this is what happened with Chappie as well.
Yeah.
It was one of the first few weeks of Sparkling Tuna Cup, and I think we were already in a call with Chappie, and we were saying to him like, "Oh, you should just give it a go. You should just play, give it a go."
Yeah.
And he ends up in a 1 hour game with 3 points, with lurkers and spores and spines, and I have not heard from him since in terms of playing Sparkling Tuna.
Yeah.
I'm scared to even ask.
He's gonna trigger his PTSD, and he's gonna end it all, mate. Oh no. It's brutal. Our tournament can be pretty brutal like that. There are a lot of aggressive and cheesy players here, so it's not nice for newcomers. You have to be strong-willed and strong of mind if you want to be here. Another one, because he earned the nickname the Hype Killer, Beastlork did, because there was another week where Risky signed up for the first time. This was back when Risky was active, and we're like, oh my god, like he's here, he wants to be a part of the scene, like he wants to participate. That's so sick. He meets Beastalk first round and he gets to it. And we never saw him again.
God. He's just the gatekeeper, but it's not even the gatekeeper of like the next level.
Yeah.
He's not gatekeeping the finals. He's gatekeeping the whole tournament. Man.
Oh god.
Hey.
Yeah, feels bad, man. No, again, my heart goes out to CuKu, and I hope that we do see him again. Meanwhile, MeomaikA, of course, he moves on. Not just MeomaikA, we have quite a number of updates here on the bracket already.